Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Dave's Garage. This is Dave Bazan, and I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite cars of all time today, and in the condition that I like cars best. Natural and, unmodified. This car here, which you see in the background, is a, 62 Chevy 409 convertible and the latest Corvette. Now these cars match perfectly with the spirit of this GTO. Now, this GTO came out in 1968, this particular body style, and it was revolutionary. The other GTOs were your basic, three-box, coupes based off sedans, and this one got itself a new fastback or semi-fastback style. Now, a full fastback is just one straight line from the top of the window there to the back, but a semi-fastback kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Now in 68, the Endura bumper was the brand new amazing element of the GTO. It was the very first car in the world to have a rubber bumper. They called it Endura. Endura was a rubber material over metal and painted the same as the car itself. Now, to hedge their bets, they also offered the chrome wraparound bumper on the GTO. Again, not many people know that. To have a chrome GTO bumper on 68 would be like taking the split out of the window in a Corvette back in 63. It just was not happening. It might not appear to be the thing that's kosher or traditional, so you might say, well, get rid of it, but it actually was the forerunner. All cars today, except maybe some pickup trucks, have rubber bumpers, body-colored bumpers. Now, another thing, I have a friend of mine that was really taken aback by the sticker that said GTO. On the 68, it was back here, and 69, it's up here. This is a 69 GTO. Now, there's a reason why I have the 69 GTO. It's simple. It's the only one I can get. They don't make the 68 so much as the 69s. The 69, I thought, was like just about any car. They make it perfect in the first year, in the days when they would change a car every year. Now they have a mid-cycle update about 3 or 4 years into it. But back in the day, every year there was a difference. And usually they come up with a car, and it's perfect by the time they come out with the original model, hence like the 68. Then they start changing it for the sake of changing it, and the car becomes less pure, and you just think, well, that was their business then, but they got it right the first time. However, I thought that about the 69 GTO for a long time because, you have well, this one just happens to have exposed lamps. I don't know why they did that. I mean, just who knows. And it's got separate, where's the side lights here? Well, they got to be somewhere. I think they're just round side lights, but they changed the running lights, the parking lamps, to be like sport lamps, and I thought that was a bit much. The scoop stayed the same. You notice it's got the tachometer on the hood, which was a Pontiac only. It's got the very slim hood scoops. It's got the the beak bumper, the beak hood, excuse me, but it doesn't have superfluous stripes and decals. For the first couple of years, or the first 4 or 5 years of muscle cars, that would have been considered gauche. You let the car do its talking for itself. But the real thing about 69 was the tail lamps were in the bumper. Now, and half in the bumper, excuse me, and half in the sheet metal, or they weren't all the way in the bumper. And this was something that I thought was one of those changes that was done for the sake of change. But according to an issue in a magazine, Pontiac magazine, I forget exactly the name of the magazine, but it's dedicated to Pontiacs, a stylist said this is how they wanted to go in 68, but GM didn't really want to be that elaborate. So the great success of the 68 allowed them to make the 69 look the way they wanted it to. Well, another big change on the 69 midsize cars from GM, including the GTO, is it lacks the vent window. The 68s have vent windows, and that was new on GM cars, but they put it on the specialty cars first, like the Riviera, Tornado, Eldorado, and it must not have been ready for 68, but 69 they eliminate the vent windows, and that is really clean. I mean, that's not an afterthought or something that, you know, is getting rid of something you really want. It makes the car look that much cleaner. The colors on these cars, absolutely fantastic. This was a day when silver and black and gray weren't the go-to colors. I mean, this is a pretty much stock color that you could have gotten on a GTO. This blue with a maybe I can't say it has green in it, but it's not a bright blue. It's very well done, sophisticated blue. Now the spoiler there is the beginning of the glam era, but it didn't look glam yet. The GTO had a spoiler on it. First year it was kind of like something that went with the Judge, this not being a Judge, but nonetheless. And it dressed up the car. Little did they know that by the 2000s, every sedan in the world was going to have a spoiler. Now, what does a spoiler do? It's honestly, it's an appearance option. If you go over 100 miles an hour or whatever, it keeps the car planted on the ground, but nobody ever bought a car with a spoiler because they just could feel that drive dynamic improve. They bought it because it looked good, and it was a small thing. It's got hidden windshield wipers. Hidden headlamps were available, and most of them probably came with the hidden headlamps. Nice piece of chrome on the bottom, but it was very clean design. And the fenders swelled a bit. That was a big GM thing, and they actually, you know, really exaggerated on the 73s. But the 69 Impala, which I didn't realize for a long time, had swelled fenders. So where did they think of that? But they came from the GTO. The GTO is kind of a minor version of that. But like all things at GM, they don't want to hit you over the head. They want to leave you wanting more. So the 69 GTO is the original muscle car introduced by Pontiac in 1964. And it had two body styles, distinct body styles, 64, 65, followed by 66, 67, same body basically, you know, idea. Then in 68 was the major body renewal, which got the fastbacks, and 70 was the peak. 70 had a major refresh, and then in 71, it was really basically gone. You could still get a GTO, but it was declined in 72. It was the parents package. 73, it went on to the new mid-size package with the Grand Am taken over as the hot one. And 74, they put it on a Ventura compact basis, a car that had been around 7 years. It just didn't, you know, it just basically went away. Insurance rates were too high, the emissions, the gas, you know, going from leaded to unleaded. I mean, and the horsepower ratings no longer, you know, being the gross, they were now net. It all just, you know, defanged the muscle car era. So there you got it, folks. That's my 68 GTO. You know, I'd take it out for a spin, but I really don't want to get it in bad shape. This I bought just recently, about 3 months ago, and, you know, I should have bought two maybe, but one will do. And, you know, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week.